Famous Visitors to Halifax, Part 2. Welcome back, friends. Harry Facks here, continuing our journey through Halifax's most remarkable visitors. In Part 2, from the cricket pitch to the circus ring, from prison cells to political platforms, these extraordinary figures brought wonder, excitement, and revolution to Halifax. Let's begin with the most famous cricketer who ever lived. Dr. William Gilbert Grace, known simply as WG or the Doctor, England's most famous cricketer of the Victorian era, instantly recognizable by that magnificent beard. In July 1886, the great W.G. Grace came to Halifax to play at Thrum Hall, the old cricket ground. This was a historic occasion, the first-class match of real importance, and only the third county game ever played on Halifax's new ground. The match was between Yorkshire and Gloucester, and the teams read like a who's who of Victorian cricket. Yorkshire fielded legends like Uliet, Lois Hall, Peel and Morehouse. Gloucester, naturally, featured the Grace brothers, W.G. himself and E.M. Grace. Now, I must confess that even legends have their off days. Yorkshire won by 3 wickets in a low-scoring affair. The aggregate for the fall of 37 wickets was just 384 runs. And W.G.? He scored only 2 and 8 in his 2 innings. The Yorkshire bowler Peel captured his wicket both times. Grace bowled a marathon 61 overs himself, but took only 3 wickets. From the gentleman's game to the art of impossible escape. Harry Houdini, the name alone conjures mystery, danger, and the impossible made possible. The greatest escapologist the world has ever known, and Halifax saw him not once, not twice, but 3 times. Born Eric Weiss in Wisconsin in 1874, young Harry spent his teenage years in the circus. As his fame spread, he changed his name to Harry Houdini, and a legend was born. In October 1902, Houdini made his first visit to Halifax, appearing at the People's Palace on St. James Road. The Halifax Guardian announced, "Important and very expensive engagement of Houdini, world-famous jailbreaker and handcuff king." Houdini played to capacity audiences each night. In his signature act, he would be handcuffed, placed in a mailbag, and fastened inside a trunk. The trunk would then be locked and placed behind a curtain. Before the audience even realized what was happening, Houdini would appear before them, free. Local businesses issued challenges. First, T.M. Culpen, a local basket maker, challenged Houdini to escape from one of their wicker baskets. Houdini accepted and freed himself in just 3 minutes. That same week, Houdini was stripped, handcuffed, and locked in a police cell. The result? He escaped in 2 minutes flat. Then Lewis Crossley, manager of T. Gaines & Sons on Stannery Street, issued the ultimate challenge: escape from a box with a separate lid, nailed down and tied with ropes. After an agonizing 22 minutes, Houdini emerged from behind the curtain to thunderous applause. Houdini returned to Halifax in November 1903, but it would be 9 years before local people saw him again. On Monday, May 29, 1911, Houdini attempted his most daring Halifax escape yet, at Whitegate Canal Lock at Siddle, on the Salterhebble branch of the Calder and Hebble navigation. This was considered the only suitable place with sufficient depth of water. Towards 6 in the evening, a large crowd gathered on the hillside. Employees of Shah Lodge Mills gazed from their windows. The audience was astounded by Houdini's seemingly impossible escape from the depths. Houdini returned to America, where in 1926 he allowed a student to punch him in the stomach to demonstrate his physical strength. The injuries he received led to his death at just 52 years old. But his legend and his Halifax triumphs live on forever. From the master of escape to the master of spectacle. Buffalo Bill's Wild West Show, the most famous outdoor spectacle of the early 20th century. And on October 8, 1903, this extraordinary extravaganza came to Halifax. William Cody, Buffalo Bill himself, was a United States Army scout and Indian fighter transformed into a folk hero. His Wild West show, also styled Congress of Rough Riders of the World, had toured worldwide for years, bringing the American frontier to life. Very early on, the morning of October 8, 1903, 3 special trains arrived at Pelham Station on the Halifax High-Level Railway. They brought Cody and an entourage of about 800 men, plus 500 horses. The spectacular procession rode through Halifax via King Cross to set up camp on Skearcote Moor at Savile Park. The performers were extraordinary. A long column of about 60 Native Americans, mostly Oglala and Bois Brules, alongside Mexican Rough Riders, Cossacks and Arabs. There were 2 performances, despite the terrible rainy conditions. The show itself was spectacular. They created maneuvers representing emigrant trains crossing the plains, followed by an attack by Indians on a settlers' camp, then the dramatic repulse of the attackers by a company of soldiers. As the Rough Riders dashed about the enclosure, they yelled pulse-stirring cries and lightened the gloom with bright flashes of color. The lassoing of the cowboys was described as like fine art. A local reporter interviewed Buffalo Bill in his private tent and found him a typical Yankee in appearance and easily approachable. From Wild West spectacle to political revolution. The Pankhursts, mother and daughter, pioneers of the women's suffrage movement. Their names became synonymous with courage, determination, and the fight for equality. Mrs. Emmeline Pankhurst, born in 1858, was the leader and founder of the British Women's Social and Political Union in 1903, later to be known as the Suffragettes. Her mission was clear: votes for women by any means necessary. Her daughter, Christabel Harriet Pankhurst, born in 1880, was equally passionate and became a popular campaigner for women's suffrage in her own right. Christabel came to our area first. On October 29, 1905, she appeared at the Bright House Albert Theatre. This was shortly after her release from Holloway Prison, where she'd been jailed for assaulting the policeman who had removed her from an election meeting. Then, on March 31, 1911, the Grande Dame herself arrived. Emmeline Pankhurst appeared at the Halifax Mechanics Institute to speak to an eager crowd about the cause that would define a generation. By 1911, the suffragette movement was at its height. Women were chaining themselves to railings, going on hunger strikes, facing imprisonment and force-feeding, all for the fundamental right to vote. It would take until 1918 for some women to gain the vote, and 1928, the year Emmeline died, for full equality at the ballot box. From political revolution to musical celebration. Sir Edward Elgar, one of Britain's greatest composers, creator of the Enigma Variations and Pomp and Circumstance. And in March 1922, he made his only visit to the Halifax district. Elgar came to Victoria Hall in Queensbury to witness something rather special, the Black Dyke Band performing arrangements of his own compositions. Elgar had been attending a function in Bradford and, on arrival there, readily consented to extend his journey to Queensbury to hear the famous band. Under the conductorship of Mr. A.O. Pearce, the Black Dyke Band played arrangements from Elgar's first and second symphonies. These were complex, demanding pieces, and the band rose to the challenge magnificently. Afterwards, Sir Edward mounted the stage and congratulated the band on their performance. Sir Elgar had paid another visit on March 2, 1929. On that occasion, Elgar was deputized at short notice for Sir Landon Ronald as conductor of the Royal Albert Hall Orchestra at the Victoria Hall. And here's the remarkable coincidence. One of the works the orchestra was billed to play was Elgar's own Pomp and Circumstance, No. 2 in A. When Sir Edward arrived to take Sir Landon's place, the audience had the unexpected pleasure of hearing the work conducted by its own composer. Elgar received an ovation by the delighted audience at the end of the performance. And so concludes our journey through Halifax's most famous visitors, from W.G. Grace's cricket bat to Buffalo Bill's Wild West, from Houdini's impossible escapes to the Pankhursts' fight for justice, from Elgar's symphonies to the sounds of our own Black Dyke Band. Until our next journey through Halifax's hidden history, I remain your faithful guide, Harry Facks.